few more trades to talk about. First, Red Wings, San Jose Sharks. The San Jose Sharks, we'll start with them. They get Kostin. He's a 6'3" power forward. Left wing, right wing. He's a winger. 24 years old, still young. I believe he was a first round pick a while back. 33 games has played this year with the Detroit Red Wings. 3 goals, 1 assist, 4 points, -2, 38 penalty minutes. He likes to mix it up here and there. Showed a lot of potential when he was on an Edmonton Oilers team that was really starving for depth scoring. Kostin was one of the few bright spots in that bottom 6 in Edmonton. I like him. I think there's a lot of potential there. It just hasn't worked out with the Detroit Red Wings. He's on to San Jose. Detroit Red Wings get in exchange a 2024 7th round pick. It's the Devils pick, so likely a mid 7th round pick. They also get depth defenseman Radim Simic, left hand, right hand shot. He can play both sides. 31 years old. Last year he played 44 games with the San Jose Sharks in the NHL. 1 goal, 2 assists, 3 points. He was a -13 on a really bad Sharks team. This year he spent the entire 40 games in the AHL. 4 goals, 12 assists, 16 points, and a +4. Defensive defenseman, depth defenseman for the Detroit Red Wings as they make their push into the playoffs. I like this move. They don't give up too much. You clear a roster spot for maybe somebody like Jonathan Berggren to come up and get a shot, right? And you just continue to shore up your blue line and make sure if you have injuries, you have a next man up that can play capable NHL minutes. I do like Simic. I think he's slightly underrated. There are deficiencies to his game, but I think overall, in terms of being a defensive defenseman, he's not bad and definitely serviceable as a third-pairing defenseman. So not too bad. Next up, bit of a head-scratcher. Coyotes get a 2024 6th-round pick. It's Dallas' 6th-round pick, so it should be a late 6th-round pick. Right, in exchange for winger Jason Zucker. Zucker, 32 years old, having a down year, but still really just about a half point per game. 51 games played this year, 9 goals, 16 assists, 25 points, -5. He's a 6-time 20-goal scorer. He built a lot of his success. Oh my goodness, a lot of his success off of his speed. As you get into your 30s, that speed declines. I should know. I'm in my 30s. My speed has declined in almost every aspect. Right? So Zucker, for a 6th-round pick, I think is pretty solid. This is a team that Zucker is familiar with. I think he'll be fine. This is depth scoring that the Predators can use and rely on. And some guy, Zucker can play anywhere up the lineup. He can play first-line minutes if you need him to. Not ideal first-line winger. Second line, third line, solid middle, 6 forward. Right? Defense isn't remarkable, but he's there to score goals and play some offense, and he's effective at that. Last up, and I forgot the arrow again, the Boston Bruins and the Minnesota Wild making a trade. Patty Maroon going to the Boston Bruins. Right? It'll be interesting if the Bruins play the Tampa Bay Lightning in, I don't know, maybe like the second round of the playoffs, if cards fall appropriately. We'll see. It's too early to tell, but Maroon, currently on the injured reserve list. He's currently skating. He's been skating for a week and a half now. So he should be fairly close to returning, but I'm not 100% sure because I thought there was a condition. Oh, yeah, I forgot to put up we'll talk about that in a sec. So Patty Maroon, 49 games played so far this year. 4 goals, 12 assists, 16 points, -11 on a Minnesota Wild team that's going to miss the playoffs. 60 penalty minutes. Excuse me. He's one of those guys that can do a little bit of scoring. He's a little underrated in terms of his offensive production. He spent some time on the second line with the Minnesota Wild, just a few games, but he started the season really hot. I think he scored all 4 of his goals in like a week and a half, like the first week and a half of the season or something. It was crazy. So can move up and down the lineup. Pretty decent defensively, right? But he's there for his physical presence. He can drop the gloves. He can hit. He can be a bit of an enforcer. But he's also one of those respectable guys. Like, people respect him across the league. He's a great locker room guy. I do like this move for Boston. And they give up prospect AHL player Luke Torpowinski. I was literally looking at his stats last night. 22-year-old left winger playing for the Providence Bruins, the AHL affiliate of the Boston Bruins, or was. In 49 games played this year, 7 goals, 10 assists, 17 points, -2, 32 penalty minutes. He's not a overly big player. I think he's like 5'11" or something. But bit of a down year from last year. I think this is a pretty solid trade. This is a guy that might need a change of scenery, right, in Torpawinski and Patty Maroon, adding to the physicality of the Boston Bruins, right? You have Lucic, who probably isn't going to play another game this year for the Bruins. So you need to kind of replace that physicality, and there's only so many guys that can drop the gloves on the Bruins, and a lot of them don't really like to drop the gloves, right? So Patty Maroon is an excellent filler spot. I really like this move for the Bruins. With that being said, as stated before, Maroon is hurt. We don't know if he's going to play a game this year or in the playoffs. And as a result, I forgot to write it on the board, but the Wild will also acquire a 2026 6th-round pick, but there is a condition. If Patrick Maroon does not play any time in the playoffs, there is no pick. That pick goes away, right? So if Maroon isn't healthy to play in the playoffs, or he's just a healthy scratch every game, there's not necessarily a spot for him. There's no 6th-round pick. But if Maroon plays even like 2 minutes, boom, Wild get a 2026 6th-round pick from the Boston Bruins. So you're all caught up so far. There should be more trades coming in. This is my first year not having NHL Network. I don't get Verizon, so it doesn't come on my packages here. I had Xfinity. It was like, I could spend another $50 a month to have NHL Network and like 12 other channels I'm not going to watch. So I didn't want to do that. I just switched to, the digital television. I cut the cable for a second time in my life. And also no NHL Network. So I'm not getting the rumors and trade updates like I used to, but I'm going to stay fairly plugged in and keep it going. So that's all I got for now. I'm sure there's more to come. An hour and 11 minutes away from the deadline. So we'll probably see trades trickle in after that, right? As long as you're in the queue waiting to be put through to the operator, then your trade should go through as long as you're in the queue before 3 o'clock. So we've seen trades come out at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock some years. So see what happens. I'm here for it. But I appreciate you guys. Take care, right?